Hey, what's up guys? Zach Kleindienst here, coming back to you guys with a quick video. And today I want to share one of my favorite topics, which is reading. And it's crazy to even say that because in high school, I was a C and D student. I hated to read. I would make fun of kids who were reading because I thought they were nerds, and really now I'm the nerd. So it's just funny how things do a full 180 after high school. But this book really changed my life. And it was the first book that I ever picked up outside of high school. And I didn't do it on my own, by the way. I had a very good friend that I met back in 2006. It was Christmas time, and this guy was my first friend to ever actually get me a Christmas gift. And he gifted me this book, which actually led to the next book. It's actually the second book in the series that is the book that changed everything. Let me take that back. The first book changed everything. The second book got me hooked. And what happened with this book is that I had a paradigm shift. Now, if you guys don't know what a paradigm shift is, I had my first paradigm shift, which might sound stupid and silly to you, but this was way back when. My first paradigm shift was when I was watching a webinar back before webinars were all popular and everything. And they said a paradigm shift is when you see something for the first time and now you can never unsee it ever again. Every time you see that thing, you're always going to see that new thing that you just saw with it. So to give you an example, my first paradigm shift was a FedEx truck. So when you see a FedEx truck, it has obviously FedEx, but in between the two letters, I think it's the, the E and the X, you have the arrow. Now call me stupid, but back then in the day, again, this was at least, I'd say 15 years ago. Back then, I never noticed the arrow in FedEx. And so now today, every time I see a FedEx truck, to this day, I still just look at the arrow. I see the arrow immediately. So it's a paradigm shift. And when I read this book, I had my first ever paradigm shift because listen, I grew up with a family, hard-loving, hard-working, but always working for somebody else. Always being told when you could take a break, always being told when you can go on vacations, when you have to take a lunch, what you have to wear, all these different things. And that's how we were all told in high school when we were growing up and going through schooling and everything else, get good grades, get a job, and let the government take care of you, plus your pension and your 401ks and whatever other investments that you have. And that's how we were being told growing up. Now, to date myself, in 2006, I met one of my very good friends, still a good friend to this day. It's freaking crazy, man. I'm talking about 2006, and we're in 2022, about to roll into 2023, and here I am talking about 2006. That goes to show you, though, how much this book has changed everything for me, because I'm still talking about it. And actually, you must, if you guys have read this book, and I know you have for the most part, most people watching this video, again, my 18 subscribers or whatever I have at the recording of this video, if you have read this book, I encourage you to go back and read this book again, because I guarantee you're starting to slip up, things are starting to happen, and you're actually being caught where you wanted to get out of. And I'll explain what I mean in a second. So anyway, my buddy Cody gave me this book for a Christmas gift. First book I ever got outside of high school. I opened the book, I started reading it, and I was like, oh my gosh, man, this is exactly who I am and who I'm being taught to grow up to be. And before I get into too much detail, guys, let me just give you the name of the book. You guys know what it is already. And if you don't have the book, you probably have a cousin, you probably have an aunt, an uncle, sibling, or a friend who has this book. I guarantee you they have this book in their library. And if they don't have it, please go get it, because it's a must read for every single person. I think everybody must be required to read this book. The book is the first book that led me to the second book. The first book is Rich Dad Poor Dad. The second book is Cash Flow Quadrant. In the cash flow quadrant, you have 4 quadrants. Okay, obviously 4 quadrants. So the first one is the E, the next one is the S, I, and the B. Okay? E, S, I, B. Now again, you guys probably know that. But as I was reading this book, I started to understand something. The E is for people who want comfort, people who want security. But the more you dig into it, you realize it's not that secure. especially nowadays. Back in 2006, it was starting to be like, I don't know if that's the right way to go, but nowadays it's like definitely not the way to go. The S is for the self-employed, the do-it-yourselfers. The B is for business owner, and the I is for investor. Now, your goal as an individual, we should be working towards being in the B and I section. However, the problem is for most real estate agents, myself, for most car salesmen, for most salespeople, for most business owners, small business owners, we think we're business owners, but we are all, for the most part, a lot of us are stuck in the E and S side. And I say that because we get into real estate. Let me give you an example. You're a real estate agent. I'm a real estate agent. We get into real estate because we want to be our own boss. We want to control our own schedule. We want to take a vacation when we want to. We want to wear the clothes that we want, show properties or go do errands when we want to, eat when we want, all this stuff. We all want to control our own schedule. That's a gift and a curse, right? So anyway, let me start over with this again. The E is the employee. Nothing wrong with that. Majority of us start off as the E. We start off as the employee. Then we go to self-employed because as the employee, now we really want to start working for ourselves. We're tired of the man. We're tired of the person telling us what to do, when to go to work, things like that. The S is when we start to break free. We think we're breaking free into our own person. Now we can take a vacation when we want. Now we can take a break and wear what we want, say what we want, do what we want, go where we want. We think we have all this freedom, but the problem is at the S station, the S quadrant, this is where I've been stuck. I'm saying this for myself. I've been stuck in the S quadrant because if you look at the model, a B is a business owner. If you're a business owner, you should be able to leave your business for a year, let that business keep moving, and it should be doing better than it was when you were still there a year ago. That's the meaning of a true business where it can operate without you. Now, most of us, if you're an E section, obviously you are an employee, you're in a warehouse, you're a FedEx driver, UPS driver, mailman, warehouse worker, stocking shelves at the grocery store, cashier, retail. You are an employee. Self-employed is the general, contractors. If you're on 1099, you get paid on a 1099. You're a self-employed, typically self-employed can't even talk right. Self-employed contractor. Now, if you're a contractor and you are the one doing all the work, can you ever leave work? And if you can leave work, of course you can, but are you still getting paid on that work? No. If you take a vacation, you're getting paid? No. Can you wear what you want? Yes. So there's a trap right there because you get the little bit of freedom that you want, but you're still trapped to exchanging your time for money. And that's the biggest thing between rich dad and poor dad was that rich dad did not have to trade his time for money. Poor dad had to trade time for money. And so if you're in the E or the S category, you must trade time for money. Let me tell you about myself, for instance. If I don't go show a house, that buyer can't see it, they don't buy it, I don't get paid. Now, of course, I could have another agent show it for me. I could pay the agent a little bit of money, but I'm the one still coordinating everything. I'm the one still being involved with that. If I was away for a year, that wouldn't operate that way. You know what I mean? So that's where the E and S section really fall into a trap. Because that S person, first we all start off as an employee. See, it's a cycle. You start off as the employee, which is perfect. I started off when I was 14 in a restaurant, bussing tables, and then I became a cook at KFC and Long John Silver's, property management, all these different things, and Harley Davidson, but I was an employee. Then I got my real estate license because I was tired of working for the person. I wanted to be my own boss. Got my real estate license, I jumped to the S quadrant. I made that leap. Hold on. I made that big leap to the quadrant of being self-employed. You think at first that you are your own boss, that you are all these things, but really you're just a boss to a business. You're the boss to the job that you now own. Because if I can't show my buyers the house when they want to see it, I don't get paid. My family doesn't get paid. So now I am the owner of a job. Because I'm still trading time for money, I just control what I want to make my phone calls, when I want to go show properties. But if I'm not doing that, if I'm not disciplined enough to do that, my family doesn't eat. Okay? Now, if I was smart, now my next jump, I'm giving you guys an example of myself so it's easier to relate to it, because I'm not sure what exactly you do, obviously. But for real estate, for me, it's easy for me to understand and comprehend. So that's why I'm using real estate. Now, if I want to jump from the S quadrant to the B quadrant, what must I do? Or let me back up a little bit. You can still be in the S quadrant and then become the I, which is the investor in the investor quadrant. How? Same reason why I gave you guys earlier. I wanted to be a real estate agent to save up money to buy investment properties. My buddy Cody, I don't know if I shared that with you guys earlier. My buddy Cody had family that was in real estate investing. They own rental properties, lots of rental properties. So his mindset was always on buying investment properties. My mindset was on selling properties to get enough money to buy investment properties. And so I put that together pretty early on. And so where I was going with that is that you are in the S category. You can still make enough money and now go buy real estate. That's what I've done. I'm a real estate agent, making sales, making money, saving it, and going and buying rentals, going and buying the investments, buying the stocks, whatever you want to invest in. Man, my throat's going crazy today. So anyway, I just saw this too. This is the quadrant. I know it's probably backwards for you guys, but you have the E, S, B, and the I. And actually, I have it right here too. This is the book. Cash flow quadrant. Got it? Go get a book, go get a copy of that book. But anyway, make enough money, buy investment properties. So now you are an S worker. Your earned income is going to buy investment properties, which is your passive income. You bought it once, you don't have to keep working for it. Yes, you got to pay the property taxes, you got to buy the new roof, you got to do all the stuff that goes along with property ownership, but it's all tax write-off, and it's going to appreciate in value, plus you get tax deductions, all that good stuff. Anyway, that is how you could do that. But I think the goal is to be in the B category for most agents. Most of us want to be our own boss. We already know that. We want to be our own boss. But we also want to eventually get more leverage, right? Why do you buy investment properties? Because you want the cash flow. You want the passive income. That's what we were all taught sometimes growing up, is that you want to buy investment properties so that way you have residual cash flow coming in. Well, that's what the B category is for, because now you build a business. So if I, as a real estate agent, want to go from an agent to a business owner, what must I do? Well, now I got to build a team, right? Because I want leverage. I want to make a little bit of money off of other agents' efforts, but I also am going to help those agents be successful. There has to be a value proposition, tit for tat, give value to get value. And there's a lot of guys out there who have built massive real estate teams. Now that, or let's say you're in the landscaping business. First, you're the one mowing the grass. You're the one on the lawnmower. You're mowing the grass, picking up the leaves, snow blowing the driveways, all this stuff if you live up north. Now you hire a crew to do it for you. So yeah, you're making less per job, but now you're with your family. Now you're at the family vacations. Now you're at the family events. Now you're free on the weekends because you have leverage, because you're making money without having to physically do the work. And that's where every real estate agent wants to be at. And I talk to real estate agents a lot because I am a real estate agent, right? So if you're not a real estate agent, you can use this for your own business. If you are an employee, you can use this for yourself. If you're a cook or you're a waitress, this is for you. Figure out how you can go from the E category to the self-employed. I always recommend you getting a real estate license or maybe a life insurance license or going and selling solar. I love the life insurance because you could do it from home over the phone, but I also love real estate because it's what I've done for the last 8 years. I made a lot of money with real estate and it's scalable, make a lot of money, and it's sexy. You know what I mean? So I encourage everybody, if you're a waitress, if you are, you're an employee somewhere, when you are not working, work on yourself. Get a license. It doesn't take long. Get a real estate license or get a life insurance license. Learn the sales game. Become self-employed, because that S quadrant is what's going to help you become the I, get to the I quadrant. Now again, you could be, I'm sorry, I shouldn't even say it that way, because you could be an employee and make a lot of money and still be able to make the investments. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people that make way more money than me as an employee, and they're able to make a lot of great, phenomenal investments. So each quadrant is there's nothing wrong with each quadrant, okay? There's nothing wrong with it. But if you are stuck at a dead-end job, if you know what your cap is, you know that the better you do at your job, the most you can make is X amount of dollars per hour. Do the math on that over the next 5-10 years. Does it let you hit your goals that you have for yourself? And if the answer is no, then you got to do something different, and you got to look into being in the S category, which is, get your real estate license. That's the only thing I can tell you. Get your real estate license, life insurance license, go sell something, go start an online business. I'll do other videos and interview some people in online businesses here soon. But you got to do something, because you owe it to yourself and your family, where you have to get to the other quadrant. You have to get to the I quadrant and get appreciation. You have to get that. You have to get the equity. The problem is sometimes, or stocks or whatever, agents fall into this S category and they stay there forever. I know agents, I used to look up to agents who are still self-employed, maybe have 2 agents on their team. They don't make enough money to be able to be on vacation for a year, or be on vacation for 6 months or even a month, because they have to physically be there selling and doing stuff. And they think their only investment vehicle is going to be real estate. Now, I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not telling anybody to invest in anything but real estate, of course. Well, you got to make your own judgment. So I guess the point of me making this video, the cash flow quadrant has changed my life in ways that you just can't explain, cars, houses, investments, just a great family life. And not even that, it was a sacrifice, but it's given me more time now, because now I can spend more time. But now I'm building a business. I'm building the businesses back up, making more investments. We bought properties down here in Florida. We still have properties up in Pennsylvania. From where I was at, I would not have been able to do that as an employee. So now my challenge for myself, I really do this to make this more of an accountability thing. My goal is to move into the B quadrant. I want to take my knowledge, my personal development, my sales skills. I want to transfer them to other people, transfer them to other agents, whether it's real estate, salespeople, 9-to-5ers. If you have a 9-to-5 job, I want to help the 9-to-5ers find something else that can help boost their income, take care of their families better, and so they can make more investments for themselves in the future. And so it's changed my life dramatically, and I just want to help everybody else out there. If you guys are looking for a book to read, I'm telling you, Rich Dad Poor Dad was phenomenal. It changes your whole mindset. It's a paradigm shift. But then cash flow quadrant is what gets you the results that you're looking for. It tells you all about, it's Rich Dad's Guide to Financial Freedom, which is what we all want. You're not chasing money, you're chasing the freedom. You're chasing the choices that you can have. You're chasing the options that you want. You want to move to Florida? Move to Florida. You want to move to California, Arizona? Move wherever you want to move. That's what it offers you when you can learn a skill that you can take it anywhere you want to. And so Cash Flow Quadrant's been one of the best books I've ever read. I've read a lot of phenomenal books, but that was the pinnacle book of my start, and I just want to share that with you guys. So I hope that helps you guys out. I feel like sometimes I ramble on and I lose track. I feel like I have ADD. I guess we all say we have ADD somehow, some way. I ramble on sometimes. I hope it makes sense. I hope you got some kind of value out of this video. Any comments, please leave them below. Any dislikes, please hit the dislike button. Please hit the like button. I just want to see some engagement. If I don't get the views, that's okay too. I do this more for myself. And then once I get people to start watching, then I can do it more for everybody else. I really do it for myself, which is doing it for other people, because the more you teach others, the more you actually learn as well. I'm learning that right now too for myself. So hope this video finds you guys well. Any questions, anything I can help you guys answer, if I can be a resource for anything, leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.